After 2 years with the ongoing COVID pandemic, all I wanted to do was take a long delayed trip to some cafe in France or go backpacking in Brazil. Then flight prices surged. The much-awaited easing of COVID cases and restrictions coincided with a jump in jet fuel costs as Russia's invasion of Ukraine provoked the US to ban imports of Russian crude and pushed oil prices $130 a barrel. That, plus higher demand for trips, means airline ticket costs are increasing for consumers, many of whom are already facing higher prices in areas like groceries, gas, and rent payments. With us today is Tomasz Klimek, head of FP&A at International Airlines Group, to fill us in any tricks up his team's sleeve to deal with this ongoing crisis. Hello, Tomasz. So, Tomasz, what can a financial planning team do to deal with this constant changes?
The key feature of any team, not only financial one, by the way, would be at this moment to be agile. Agile in terms of people, but also processes and systems. For FP&A, having an integrated driver-based model that could be used for simulations and produce results in seconds or minutes rather than weeks would be a huge advantage. Such model should contain all main operational statistics, prices, headcounts, calculate P&L, balance sheet. It should be multidimensional so that the different areas of the business could be analyzed at the same time, like sales prices, purchase prices, volumes. In case of airlines, this would mean getting the company-wide P&L cash flow, but also the ability to drill down to the level of flight profitability.
Jet fuel costs have jumped over 30% in the past month. Flight searches are 10% below expected seasonal levels. And if you want to fly to Europe, the cost jumped by close to 20% in March alone. Aside from world peace, are there any suggestions you have for leading financial teams working in airfare to prevent losing customers?
There is no magic ball. We should again focus on optimization, especially optimization in terms of the network. So fly only where we get positive cash flows. That is why the route profitability models I mentioned earlier are key for airlines. In aviation, especially in so-called full-service carriers, it is sometimes difficult to calculate the optimum profit or net cash generation due to very complex interdependencies. So if you cut short-haul loss-making connection from, let's say, Rome to Madrid, that might have negative impact on your profitable long-haul connection from Madrid to New York, as part of the transfer passengers will be lost. So we need to understand which costs are relevant and which are sunk. Cash approach is now definitely more useful than accounting concepts like profit.
Wait. So basically what you're suggesting is cutting us completely from specific routes, meaning we won't be able to fly to the east as easily and drink the pineapple cocktail in Thailand, well, at least that I was dreaming of.
The optimization looks like this. So you have to really understand where the passengers want to fly and are able and capable to pay for this connections, for these routes. And it's nice. So when we use for example, the current example of Russia war in Ukraine. So this is one of these directions which you have to basically cut and move to some other directions. I mean, for some airlines, this is very difficult, like Finnair. Finnair was using extensively the Russian space to fly, to transfer basically many people from Europe to Far East. And they were having whole their network was built around it. So they were bringing people to Helsinki from whole Europe and then transferring them to Japan, to South Korea. Now it is impossible.
So is there any hope for airlines in Eastern Europe and Ukraine to recover?
I'm not that pessimistic. I think that everything will recover at some point. It's a matter of time. I hope at least that this war will finish quickly. And in fact, there is also a positive scenario for especially for Ukraine, because I think that depending on the EU policy, if they will be really allowed to go this fast track to EU. To join EU in the next 10 years, there will be huge investments going to the country, and there will be much more connectivity needed really to rebuild it after the war.
I think the question that truly interests everyone about what you do in international airlines is, do you get to fly a lot?
Not so much, in fact. So when you are from the industry, when you fly, you look slightly differently at your flight, at your experience how the people work, what kind of costs you see around you, how it works. So it's also quite interesting. And flying also help you to understand how the business works. So yeah, you should be flying really big part of it.
Well, we might not get to be the frequent flyer anymore, but at least you get that special perk. Tomasz Klimek, Head of FP&A at International Airlines, thank you.
Thank you for inviting me.